We're on, Bear.
We're on. Good evening, Barnes.
Happy Monday. How are you?
They were a good band.
Yes, they were, weren't they? A bit like the Happy Clappers. That's
What did they turn into? Deep,
Don't know.
No, something purple.
Deep purple.
Black grape. Anyway, sorry. Shane might. I think it was black grape that Happy Mondays turned into. Oh, possibly. Anyway, wonderful to see you, Barnes. First of all, we did promise our viewer last week that we would wear different hats every single week. So, what hat are you wearing, Barnes?
Well, this young Bear is an old training shirt of mine that I sent off and got it turned into a sort of bespoke Oxford Downs bucket
Was that
hat.
because the training shirt didn't fit in?
Well, there is a part of that, but yeah, there you go, Ted Oxford Wine Company.
Fantastic.
But yeah, very unique, one off, there's the squad number, all that jazz.
Worth an absolute fortune on the black market.
There you go.
And my hat, which there is one of these in the safe behind the bar, because I donated one to the club about 10 years ago to be put on the wall, but we haven't got any screws to put it up yet, so it's still sitting in the safe. This is a St Edward School Martyrs hat called the Rhubarb. So it's a very important hat, and I'm very proudly wearing it.
What about no more nails?
No more nails, exactly.
I've got a Martyrs tie.
Do you?
Yeah, I took them to Dubai.
Fantastic.
The Sevens.
They were a good Sevens team, apparently.
I got the 3 Sutton boys in and out of Dubai for 5 days and no arrests. That is my greatest sporting achievement.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah,
no bats
good.
were thrown by anybody?
No, it was rugby.
Okay, oh right, okay, so they didn't take the bat to throw it, just in case.
Proper sport.
It's been an interesting week since we lost. There's been the loss of 2 great people. Barry Humphries died. Fantastic man, Barry Humphries. And also I heard today Len Goodman has died.
I heard that, very sad news.
It is very sad news. So exactly 7, yes. Does that mean we're starting the countdown again? Sorry,
yeah.
Our current producer, likes to give us a countdown.
They're talking about a batting average, I think, there.
So in a packed show tonight, Barnes.
I love that terminology, yes, Bear.
We're going to talk about the great village knockout victory. We just scraped past Kingston Bagpuize. You'll give us some details on that. And I believe we have a video with the fantastic captain, Curtley Slater. Then we're going to have our much-awaited guest, James Lauder, is going to come in and be interviewed by you. We've had some interesting answers to your query of what did he play internationally.
No, professional. He's professional.
It wasn't basketball.
No.
A lot of people thought basketball. A lot of people thought he was a stunt double for Tyrion Lannister in the Game of Thrones. That was also not true. In general, I think you will give the answer to this, and people will be in awe of the talent that this man obviously has.
I heard he's a bullfighter. I don't know how true it is or not.
I think it's a load of cock. But anyway, then you're going to give him your 20 questions. I don't know whether you've edited those at all, because people are going to start knowing what you're going to ask them. They're going to prepare their answers unless you vary it a little bit.
Then
we're going to have our pro update, and I've got a special inside knowledge of how we say his surname, which you're going to say for us, because I still can't quite do it right. Then we've got my 20 questions of you, which I've spent all day in the office charging it to various clients, working out my 20 questions, and they are particularly stressful this week. Then we're going to talk about future guests, and then just general bit of chit-chat. Any other business? We normally thank our producer.
This guy?
For sticking his fingers up and telling us when it gets down to naught and there's still another 6 to go, and we look like absolute idiots.
We've got a guest of honour out the back. Look, we've got the captain's girlfriend.
We have got a wag in the house.
Hannah Montana.
We have got a wag in the house.
Nice to see you, Hannah.
It's fantastic to see you.
First time she's put a hand in the air without a bottle of old Mute.
Also, it's fantastic to see the Badger here. I'm part of the famous on-pitch side commentary team and does quite a lot of roaming reporting. First time he's been seen anywhere near this presentation this season, so welcome, Badge. And we have the person in charge of cricket worldwide and the Barmy Army, Eric Elwood, is here as well. So we do have our captain here, which I think you have some news about, so we can talk about that. Should we start off with, any news you've got? Would you like to talk about your news today, Brian?
Well, no, I haven't really got a lot. Just one of those frustrating Mondays, Bear, really. Looking forward to today. It was quite nice to switch off and just start thinking about being with you for a bit.
Well, thank you very much. And I think with these hats on, we could probably go out tonight. I'd be very surprised if we don't pull in Sandy's Piano Bar in Whitney.
Do you think so?
I think we've got a good chance.
I'm not sure anybody will be in there, but there we go.
No, never mind.
There we go. So yeah, Village Knockout. Great to see you up there yesterday, Bear, with your selfie stick roaming.
I was going to come for a long leisurely afternoon in the sun, but when I looked at the score, which at that time was about 30 for 8, I realised that I better get my skates on, otherwise I'm going to miss the whole game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nice to see some golden oldies from the history books of Oxford Downs.
With some very sort of bright coloured trousers that you were fond of those.
I do like a man that wears pink trousers.
Yeah.
I think salmon is one of my favourite colours.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's quite funny because he's called Grizzly and you're Bear.
I know. And what a fine cricketer he was.
Yeah.
Simon Flory. He used to hit the ball back with the square
hard.
4 times as hard as Paddy Daniel.
No.
Yeah, that's true.
That's impossible.
A lot of people can believe that.
It's quicker than the speed of sound. That would break the sound barrier. So obviously the Downs got off to a pretty easy win yesterday, won the toss and elected to field, and we bowled them out for 39. So yes, a bit disappointing from a competition point.
Did your second favourite son get any wickets?
Well, I got the bowling figures here, Bear, should anybody interested.
So let's talk about that.
So Loz Brock, 6 overs, 1 maidens, 0 for 8. Quite tight, and I think he started with a wide, somebody said, but I don't know how true that is. Matty Warner, 6 overs, 4 maidens, 3 for 2.
Well bowled. So we should point out that it was a bit of a grudge game for him with his dad being involved with Kingston Bagpuize.
And his brother batting for the opposite.
Exactly, so he was up for it, you might say.
Young Gus on his debut, 6 overs, 3 for 19. Bit expensive, Gus, but there we go. No doubt I should get a rollicky when I get him.
Was he on a hat-trick at one point?
He was, as was Warnes.
And tell us about the 2 hat-trick balls, because that was before I got there.
They didn't get a wicket.
OK, good. That's good to know.
Alex Ling, 4 overs, 1 maiden, 3 for 8.
Bowling off the wrong foot.
And looking at cover point as he lets the pill go. And Zach, 1.5 overs, 1 for 0. So very well bowled.
Very good slip catch from what I saw. That was very good.
Yeah, Curtley snapped on a good slip catch.
Yeah.
Will ended up on 24 not out, and Kurt was 14 not out. So game over.
As a cricketing contest, you'd pretty much say it was a relatively straightforward victory.
We didn't get many laps in.
No,
we didn't get many laps in. I did have a lap with the pro. That was quite interesting.
Yes,
he's as mad as a goose, which is quite good.
He'll fit in quite well. He did seem quite cold when I saw him.
Not as cold as he was at Chew the day before, because that was bolted.
He is moaning already about the British summer being slightly colder than his worst day that he's ever experienced.
He will be fine. It's good when you told him it doesn't get any warmer than this yesterday. He had a smile on out of his face.
I like to make him feel at home.
There we go. So Tiddington beat Chew by 62 runs, so they rock into the next round. Langford beat Stanton Harcourt by 9 wickets. So I think they dodged the weather. Rowan got a walkover over Hawley. Shippo got a walkover over Steeple Aston. And thanks to our producer, had the foresight to go over to Bryce Norton to see the very, very last ball between Minster Lover and Cumnor, which Cumnor won quite comfortably as well.
You must have driven very quickly to get there for that.
He was on his bike. He went on his push bike. So Challow versus Oxford and Blessington didn't happen, and I presume that was down to the weather, as Baldon versus Horsepath. Interesting fact, I was told, Bear, about Bletchingdon or Bletchington.
I always used to say Bletchingdon.
Well, it depends on which end of the village you come on from. I'm told the signs are different. But there you go. So if anybody could say that's right or wrong or not.
But if you're driving out and you turn to look and see if that's true, you'll probably crash.
Yeah, so turn around and come back the other way.
OK, good.
That would be the best thing to do. So the next round of the Village Knockout is on May the 7th. Tiddington will be hosting Lamford. Rowan have got Challow or Bletchingdon or Oxford. And Oxford, Cumnor got the mighty Oxford
so another
Downs.
day trip away to...
Day trip away. And then Horsepath or Borden will be playing Shippo on the 7th of May.
OK.
That completes my roundup of the Village Knockout.
Fantastic. And we have a quick interview.
Yes, we do.
The captain, the successful captain, is our current producer ready for this. So, and while we're watching this little video, little interview, we're going to get our special guest in.
You give the surprise away now, because that could have been like Mr. Ben, couldn't it?
Oh, sorry.
He could have gone, boom, Mr. Ben.
Viewer, ignore exactly what I've just said, please. Right, Heather, I'm here with very successful captain Curtley Slater. Are you pleased with the way the game went, Kurt?
Yeah, brilliant. Team performance. Bowlers did their job, and then me and Will knocked them off.
So I'm sorry, I slightly overslept and missed the first thing. We rolled through them. Who got most of the wickets?
It was shared about. Warnes, had a couple. Loz opened up.
So Warnes showing his old dad what proper cricket club's all about. Is that it?
Definitely.
And you stroked a nice looking 20 to finish it all off?
Yeah, not too bad.
Brilliant. Generally very good. So this is, you're taking to captaincy like a duck to water. Is this a long-term ambition of yours to be captain of all teams that you play?
Very happy with the captaincy. So.
And a good turnout from the Oxford Downs fans here today.
Very good turnout, yeah, as always.
And we're playing Cumnor or somebody else in the next round, possibly?
Is that home, is it?
I don't know. I have no idea. But wherever it is, presumably you'll be captain and we're going to win again.
Hopefully, fingers
Well done.
crossed.
Congratulations. Cheers.
Brilliant.
We're back. We're back.
As if by magic. Can I just say, you smell wonderful, James.
Thank you.
All I can smell is Eric's food.
Yeah, I can smell Eric's food
What is
as
it?
well.
Pasty? What are you eating? A pasty?
Beef and black bean sauce, but I forgot the rice.
That's
okay.
a very
Keep the carbs down. It's very good. It's very sensible.
Made a racket
Low
with the
carbs.
forks.
very interesting aftershave you're wearing. The black bean sauce, whatever.
Well,
Lovely.
yes.
James, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Finally got you on after some.
Jiggery
Our
pokery.
secretary let us down a little bit and we double booked, but you
That's
were very
okay.
understanding, so
It
thanks for
wasn't
that.
that you were the second choice or anything like that. It was just that we knew you'd be able to take it better.
Yeah, that's fine.
Good.
Yeah, could be completely messed up.
Not as if I've got a 6-week-old or anything.
No. Have you? I didn't know about that. So, for our audience, how many have we got? 3, 4, Bear? How many people have we got here?
Currently 15 million
That's amazing.
or 15. I'm not sure.
I can't
whether it's got
remember.
the
I
right
can't
number
remember.
of noughts at the
So,
end of it.
Jimbo, just give us a quick synopsis of your good self, where you've come from, because you're not really part of the crack, really, are you? You've got another 30 years. I'm
That is
still
true.
I'm still an imposter, so
Yeah.
you must be as well. So, uni, what did you do after that? And then you can reveal to the world what you did professionally.
Okay, originally from Shropshire, University of Birmingham. Stayed there for a few years after playing a sport, semi-professionally, and then moved down to Whitney to live with my now wife.
Wow.
So we lived in Whitney for a few years, then we moved to Newbury, where I played for Falkland Cricket Club for 3 seasons, but one was the COVID year, so
Yeah.
a bit interrupted.
Doesn't really count.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we wanted to move back to Whitney, but it's a little bit too far for where Katie works, so we moved to Marcham, Sleepy Marcham, and we have had a baby and got a dog. Done all those things that you do when you're 30.
You've really grown up, aren't
Yeah,
you?
exactly, yeah.
Amazing. Well done, you.
Changed from going out in Nortons and with Cockles and Will and the rest of the gang. So, yeah, no, it's good. I actually, really nice, really lucky, really nice house there, and it's good for Katie's work and means I can come back to the best cricket club in the world.
Very good. So that gets rid of your question, which is the best club.
That's
between-
going down well, but you don't. Did you miss the memo that you have to wear a special hat to come on this program?
Oh, I did hear about that, yeah, but I wore glasses instead.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah,
Well, we've all
Works.
got glasses on as well.
Yeah, that's
so
why I
it's
put
not-
them on. These have actually got no lens in it, so they're just,
We're,
just
we're,
plain.
They work.
we're wearing them because we're very, very old and we can't
Yeah.
read it unless we wear them. You're wearing them because
He's cool.
yes,
Yeah.
Really, really cool.
that's okay.
Very cool. Very cool. So what have you got here, Jimbo? You turned up with 2 pairs of socks.
So, because I was invited on the podcast, I thought, bring something edible or bring a gift. So here you go.
Oh, thank you so much.
Lovely pair of Ashaway socks. Very comfortable. You can wear them for work or you can wear them for sport. Or
Brilliant.
whatever.
So future guests,
There you go.
there's
Yeah.
the benchmark.
This is a very good start.
A very good start.
you.
I
And-
quite
and-
like a Rolex in the next gig. If we could get one of those, that'd be pretty good.
And what is special about these socks?
They go on your feet.
They're very comfy.
Oh, good,
They're
excellent.
breathable and they're good for sport, but they're also good for, other
They
things.
may well need to be breathable with my feet. the current Mrs. Bear is not a fan of my feet. It has to be said.
Will you be wearing them with Crocs, Bear, or not?
No, you don't wear socks and Crocs. It's a bit like wearing sandals and socks. It doesn't really work. You have to wear.
Okay.
It's like there's a Croc lovers out there. Do you have the strap back or strap forward? It's a bit of a
saw
debate
some-
going on.
I saw some furry ones the other day.
Athletic fit.
Inside furry ones.
I have 3
Won't they
pairs
make
of
your
furry
feet
ones.
sweat, though?
They don't make your feet sweat. They're very, very warm. But if your feet do sweat and they get a little bit smelly, just stick them in the washing machine.
What, your feet?
Yes.
Jolly good idea. So, come on then, drum roll.
Crocs have come back in fashion, by the way.
What's your number 1 sport?
Number
what were you
one
professional
sport?
at? I know you said semi-pro, but you're a pro.
Badminton.
There you go.
There we go. We're in. Good sport.
Very good sport.
Number 1 racket sport in the country.
Fastest racket sport in the world, isn't it? Is that correct?
Yeah, correct. I don't know the stat, but it's something like 420 kilometres per hour is the record smash, which in miles per hour is
A lot.
a lot
250.
more than a
And
tennis serve.
do you
or-
still play?
A little bit. I still play for a club in Whitney called Windrush Badminton Club, and I still play occasionally a bit of county, but it's very different to playing like county cricket where it's a lot more. Like county for badminton is 3 times a year over weekends, and there's not so much training. It's just
I always imagine badminton being something you play in a village hall, because every village hall you go into, there's a badminton court on
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of it played in village halls.
not anymore. But growing up, to be fair, I used to go with my mum to Market Drayton Village Hall, and the I swear the roof was not much bigger than this, and the beams would come down.
So lobbing wasn't really an option.
Yeah, and obviously one court. So then you're there. You start at 6:37, and you're there till 1 a.m. And then they'd have jacket potatoes, and I'd be as a kid there like, running around. But my mum was down a jacket potato at 1:30 in the morning. I'm thinking, what? Like looking back now, that's ridiculous because you play in sports halls or schools where there's 4 courts, 5 courts, and but yeah, you're right. There was
And a higher ceiling.
And a much higher ceiling.
You set the ceiling higher.
It's
Yeah.
quite. It's a bit like
It's quite high for me, this though.
a bit like squash. It's quite hard on the Achilles, isn't it?
Yeah, knees and Achilles and ankles and stuff.
So pretty much everything.
Yeah, hips. I've got bad back. My L5S1. My disc is pretty bad from playing badminton.
Facet joints.
Is that anything to do with the size of the rump?
It is actually.
Yeah.
I've got a very lordotic back, so my hips are bad, which means my back's bad. But yeah,
So you're a bit like
my wife snapped her ACL playing squash actually, and she was also England junior number 1. So yeah, you're right.
Did you meet playing badminton?
We met on sports scholarship at university, and I didn't know her, but everyone was talking about this girl who had just snapped her ACL on the last pre-season match.
And did you turn up with some deep heat and Vaseline to help her?
I was sat in the sports centre promoting badminton, and I said, "How's the knee?" And that was the first time I ever spoke to her, and she said,
What are you
"Yeah,
doing tonight?
it's okay." And actually, she wanted to say, "How do you effing think it is?"
Yeah.
Which was bad, but
Yeah. And what did you say after that? I've fallen for you like a blind roofer.
yeah, something like that. I
Yeah.
said she can't run away, so.
Oh,
there
good
go.
from you.
There we go.
Yeah, and the rest is history.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We move on to
Well, I
that.
think that's
Actually,
very,
one of my
that's very
questions.
very romantic way to start.
Yeah.
And as speaking to someone, the current Mrs. Bear is also called Katie. I think Katie is a very good name.
Perfect.
To have for a wife. Yeah.
Current Mrs. Bear. So we probably ought to touch on the second team. Last year you just missed out on promotion. I think this year you look a bit stronger. And yeah, shoot from the hip, chap. Obviously you're a bit disappointed at the end of last season, but overall it was a good season.
Yeah, great season. It was lovely to be back at the club. Obviously, when I spoke to Eric, told Eric and Costley and Will and stuff that I was coming back to the club, and I think there was a decision from my side of things whether to captain the twos or try and fight for a place in the first team. But in all honesty, I'm just not up to the standard, and I'd probably found myself batting at 7 or 8 in the ones or whatever it might have been, which is fine. And I enjoyed playing first team cricket under George and Waz back in a few years ago. But yeah, captain the twos was actually really brilliant. Like lots of new faces, but lots of the old guard as well. And Kurt as well. I must say that Kurt is really kind of didn't know Kurt before because he joined when we won the league under George and went to home counties. So Kurt was fantastic. Made him our vice captain, and yeah, 3rd place in the league. I think we won 8 fixtures, a fair amount of draws, and missed out to Buckingham seconds on the last day of the season, which was pretty gutting. But
It was very excited to commentate on that day, and I think Barnes and I had a thoroughly enjoyable day. A lot of rocky road was eaten nervously. On that day, I have to say. But it would have been fantastic if the game did ebb and flow all the way through the day, didn't it?
That's not much of a benchmark, though, is it? Me and you eating a lot of rocky roads. It's not a benchmark on the game.
No.
No.
Well, yeah, I suppose that's true. Jelly Vapors would be more of a benchmark. Yeah.
Oh, awful pregnant silence there, wasn't there?
That's okay.
So, ambitions for this year, Jimbo?
Yeah, I think the league is going to be as tough as it was last year because the other two second teams in the league both got promoted. So Horsepath Twos, who we beat once and lost to them once, won the league. Buckingham Twos came second, and that means now that 2 first teams have come up into this league. So the same as what Tom Ling said last episode, was that it's all first teams in our division. And strong first teams, you've got Brackley, Shipton under Wychwood, Challow, Leighton Buzzard have come up, so I'm sure they'll be quite a strong outfit. Whitney Swifts have come up. Again, they've obviously come from the OCA, worked their way up. Good group of lads there. And I think in all honesty, we stand a chance. But I don't think it's quite the same as, we don't need to win, like in the lower leagues, you don't need to win 15, 16 games. I think if we set a target of 9, 10 wins out of 18, we'll get promoted.
Yeah,
so I think it's going to be really good. There's new faces, there's new people, but as you two know, it's massively dependent on availability. Because the first team have got a fantastic team, but the squad depth, like you said, is always where it comes down to. If there's any injuries or people away, then that just affects. And the first team are the core of this club, and they come first. So, in all honesty, I really want us to go up. But if the first get promoted and the twos do really well in the league but don't get promoted, then that's fine as long as we have a good season and
a lot of fun
as well. Exactly.
So Kurt stays as your vice captain this year?
Yep.
Good man.
Haven't told him yet, but
You haven't told you asked
he
him,
doesn't
but
do anything anyway. In all honesty, if he's watching, he won't be watching because he'll either be in bed
Or looking after Lyra,
or
yeah.
roofing or something. So
Yeah.
exactly, yeah, he doesn't do anything, just bats well, and that's good enough for me.
Ones to watch this year?
Ones to watch. There is a new lad called Azair Malek who's come from East Oxford. Scored around 370 runs last year. Scored 100 against us here, and scored 70 away at East Oxford. So he's a good player. Can bowl as well. There's plenty of new faces. Sam Herbert's come from Cumnor. I think he was mentioned. There's a lad called Joe Ranger that's come. Lives in the area but still works down in Bournemouth. A couple of youngsters. Arthur Hansen has moved over from Shipton. Plays with Henry Welsh in the EPP, is that right? Oxford Under-18 sort of
EPP, yeah.
Shazam.
Yeah.
So
Means they're very good.
yeah,
Very
he's
good
but again, obviously, sort of 12 games, 12 fixtures that they're able to play. But
Yeah.
lots of people, and people like Ben Ling as well. Ben Ling, Alex Ling, that weren't around as much last year due to girlfriends and universities and stuff.
What about that youngster Darryl Woods? What are you going to do with him?
Yeah, I think he's captain the fours, isn't he? Speaking,
you heard it here first, Darryl.
Speaking of Darryl did help me as well a lot last year, as well as others. But Darryl was great because he was captain the year before. I think year on year it was trying to keep the second team in that league and scraping last day of the season. So the way we kind of turned it round, and Darryl was a big part of that. I mean, I think he was second leading wicket taker.
Was he?
Didn't score any runs, but he's bowling little office. So
he comes from the George Sandbach School of Con Bowling. I think.
Oh yeah, 100%.
No
Yeah,
disrespect, Woodsy.
George probably learnt it from Darryl. So yeah.
Intelligent filth, as it was once
Yes,
called.
exactly.
Yeah. Good. So you're excited, you're pumped, you're ready.
Yeah.
Just waiting for the ground to dry out a bit. First.
Yeah, well, I mean, the weather's been awful, and
Shocking,
I mean,
isn't it? Shocking weather.
yeah, it is. I mean, it's abysmal today. It was abysmal yesterday after the VKO game. But I mean, we won on Saturday. We played a pre-season on Saturday. Sorry if you're taking anything from
No,
me,
not
but
at all,
that
not
was
at all.
good. Lots of people bowled. Everyone got a bat. Well,
Did you get back?
I faced two balls.
Good.
I left a straight one.
Yeah.
That can happen.
Yeah, it can happen. So, but everyone batted, everyone bowled. 7 or 8 bowlers and 10 people batted.
That's what I like about a good captain. Very unselfish. Don't worry, lads. I'll go out.
Yeah.
Knock the skin off it.
Because he knows he's always going to pick himself, however bad.
Yeah, of course he is.
Yeah,
He's in.
100%.
That's
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you and Kurt open the batting?
Yes.
Yes, it's their show.
And that's
isn't
why
it,
I said he
really?
should go for the VKO captain, because that meant that I was like, return
Oh, I
the
see.
favour. I was batting 3 yesterday
Yeah,
until
yeah.
we bowled him out for 39.
Very wise, very wise. So it's probably that time that you've been dreading.
No, I'm not dreading anything. This is the question.
This
This is great.
This is
Can't wait.
Barnes' questions. Before you ask your questions, Barnes, a very, very important piece of news.
You're good.
From Mark Collins is that apparently it's okay to wear socks with Crocs. And you can wear socks with sliders as well.
Yeah, so I would say
you
socks
heard
with
it
sliders.
from Mark Collins
No, I don't
first.
get that.
And
Or
if you've
Crocs.
ever seen Mark Collins, you want to take fashion tips from him, you've got a problem. Right.
A massive problem. I tried to mix them up a bit
Okay.
because I got told it's got a bit boring, so we've had 2 lots that are
I
relatively.
didn't say that.
I thought
No,
it was
not
very-
you. Not you.
Oh, someone else has told you that.
Oh,
Warren.
honestly, I've been getting ripped.
The Suns.
Ripped to pieces.
Suns?
I think it's important we keep a little
Our
bit of
viewer
cricket
can
in
get a
there.
bit frisky in that way, can't he?
Yeah,
Or she.
the odd one. Anyway, I'm going to go
Okay.
off the bat straight away because it's important that we understand these things. Your first cricketing memory as a young man growing up.
First cricketing memory, probably playing for my club, Market Drayton Cricket Club, up in Shropshire. Lovely club. Had a few ups and downs over the years, but lots of nice people. And yeah. That's
Jacket
about it.
spuds at 1 a.m. or?
No, awful teas.
Okay,
That's
awful
okay.
teas.
That's because we
We'll
wanted to do
we'll
it ourselves.
Move
so,
on to that.
yeah.
First cricketing hero, not Bear.
Kevin Peterson.
Oh, I
Gosh,
read
you're
some,
so
I
young
read
to have
something
Kevin
today
Peterson as
about
your first
Swanee saying that they didn't get on. Anyway, Badminton or cricket?
Cricket.
Oh, good from you. Who's the most handsome second team player?
You're joking, aren't you? Zach Wilton is the sexiest man at the club by a million miles, so it's got to be
What
Zach
about-
Wilton.
What about the bloke behind the bar? at
No,
this current
honestly,
point in
Zach
time?
Wilton, he looked like Hercules.
It's his quiz. It's his quiz. Dyes his eyebrows dark, which is very, very weird. How old are you when you stopped using a booster seat?
I still use one.
You still use one.
It's on
okay.
here.
Okay, yes. It's called a booster. It's a
I've actually
booster
got-
bum.
So I've got a really tall upper body,
Right.
but my legs are now swinging.
That's why that's why Barnes and I look as though we're about 2 foot tall, and you look as though you're a
I'm
giant.
slouching here because I'm thinking, this might be a bit awkward. Everyone's thinking, James only 5 foot nothing. Why is he so tall in a chair?
He's not sitting
Right,
on a
favourite
booster seat
sporting
here.
memory. Bearing in mind you've played sport at a very high level. What's your favourite sporting memory?
Played on Sky Sports, which was pretty cool. Love that. Lost the game. It was badminton, of course, but it was quite a cool event because badminton's not
Live?
on TV. Yeah, live. Sky Sports 3 as it was then.
Can we find that on YouTube? somewhere?
I'm not sure, probably. It was in the National Badminton League.
Oh, well
so,
done.
but,
That's
Can we ask
pretty
our
cool.
viewers if they can find that on YouTube? For
no,
us,
they don't
please,
have
and
to, honestly. It's embarrassing.
That's very good. Well done.
But,
on a scale of 1 to 10, how much are you punching with your wife?
Yeah, like 9.
No, yeah, definitely. Favourite position?
Cover.
Good from you.
Or missionary.
It's still funny every week, isn't it?
It's
still
it's
funny.
never going to go away.
It's never going to go away. Never going to stop being funny.
Favourite sandwich, favourite cake that should be in every cricketing tea?
Carrot cake. It's,
What?
It's the... Sorry, I
Can
was
we
asked the
edit that?
question.
So it's his question.
Yes, thank you.
Badger,
It is fantastic
quiet.
So
carrot
if you
cake.
eat carrot cake while you're wearing glasses, because it's meant to improve your sight, isn't it?
Possibly.
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah,
Sandwich?
Sandwich. Coronation chicken.
Ooh,
You
good.
need a napkin if you're
Nod of
Coronation
approval,
chicken.
look, from the captain's girlfriend
You
at
do-
the back there.
Is she a
knows.
Coronation chicken girl, do you think?
Well, it looks like it.
Carrot cake?
That and old mute cider.
Carrot cake. I love carrot cake.
Best memory at Oxford Downs so far?
Oh, best memory. I've got one that I probably can't say, so I won't say that. But the
Coach journey on the way
I think actually, I love the seasons that I played under Waz, but that year we won the league with George, where we went undefeated, was superb. And the last game here, where there was all of us in the slips,
Yeah.
and I think it could have been Johnny Law was bowling, and we were all waiting for this catch, and the guy just drove it straight down the ground, and then all 8, 9 slips just started running to long on to try and get this ball. But yeah, I mean, that was great. It's got to be that season. It was just, and the song that we, the team song and everything was, great group of boys.
Brilliant, brilliant. Who would you most like to meet who's alive, and who would you most like to meet who's dead?
Dead. I don't know. That's a tough question, isn't it?
Not really.
Who would you
know
most
what
like
I'd
to meet who's alive then?
Alive.
Mr. Shuttlecock or somebody.
Yeah, that's a really tough question, Boz. You got another one, and I'll come back to it.
We can do. Who's the best answer in the twos?
Best answer in the twos. Definitely not Woodsy.
No, he only got up to get a bag of crisps, but
I'll
still
probably
won the
go
prize.
for. I reckon Gav's a good dancer.
Okay.
I reckon he can. I think I've seen him bust a move a few times in here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you understand a single word that your wicketkeeper says?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
It's
it's
quite important.
But it's the look sometimes that he gives with it kind of put you off because he's angry.
Very angry.
He is angry.
Yeah. Very angry. Who will be your highest run scorer and highest wicket taker this year in the twos?
Kurt will score the most runs.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Wickets, tough one because might lean towards Henry again, but then he might play a few first team games, and obviously he's got his school games to play. But I think Gus will take a good amount of wickets. Or actually, Alex Ling. There you go, Alex Ling.
What, because he bowls off the wrong foot looking in the wrong direction?
Yeah, and he's just honestly,
Just
he's
picture-
just
it's
the new
just
Stevie.
bang
He's the
wicket.
new Stevie Roberts, isn't
Just
it? His
bangs
name will be
wicket.
up there as many times as Stevie Roberts one day.
And wants to be a batsman, by the way. Skip.
I know,
if you
yeah, it's bad,
that.
isn't it?
There
He's
you
like,
go.
can I bat at 5?
So are we going to go back to who you'd most like to meet? Or are we just going to put a line through that and we move on? Thanks for the socks. Bye-bye.
Alive, let's go Elon Musk.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Just because I think he'd be very fascinating and
Yeah.
might give me a Tesla.
might not.
And dead, Michael Jackson.
Love that.
Yeah, Shimon.
Thanks for that, Bubbles.
There we go.
Call me Bubbles, darling.
Fantastic.
Very good. That wasn't too bad, was it?
That was
Well
very
done,
good. That was
James.
very tough. There's probably loads of people I think of in the car, but yeah, who knows?
We'll invite you
The
back.
Queen.
Mark Casey thinks that you look like your old dear, Barnes.
My old dear.
I can't comment because
No.
I've never met
I
her.
can't call Mark
unless she
Casey
was
by-
that girl in the disco back in... No, I don't think she
No,
was.
I can't call Mark Casey by his nickname either because we're live.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's okay. So, and we've got lots of incoming comments from the Badger, which I don't really understand because he could just say them from over there.
Yeah, well, the man's an idiot. Look at the way he's sitting. I mean, for heaven's sake.
He's very proud of his son scoring his CB, by the way. But,
good.
But thank you very much for that. That was illuminating.
Thank you for having me.
We're now going to get everybody looking on YouTube to find some live coverage of James Lauder, which we will play in the next Bear and Barn show.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
No, I think that's
I'll have my socks back.
That's absolutely what should happen.
We got to wear these
Thanks,
next.
What,
Shorts.
with Crocs?
We're going to wear shorts,
With
Crocs with these socks.
Or slides.
Viewer, I'm going to wear these. I haven't got sliders; they're far too trendy. I'm going to wear these with socks.
Brilliant. Well done, Jimbo.
Perfect.
Well,
Thank you very much, mate.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you. Good old boy.
Well, that's very exciting. So while I'm preparing, I've got some questions. And can I just say that my mother is watching this. She phoned me up at the office today to give me a bit of a rollicking, saying that it's very unprofessional for you and I to be sitting here drinking Guinness and eating jammy Dodgers
So we've got neat gin.
while putting a show on. So this is, for my mother, this is just vodka, but no one knows. It could be water, it could be vodka. So we're behaving ourselves today, and thanks for watching, Mum.
Thanks for the tips.
Yes,
Mother.
thank you. So we're going to have our update.
That was very good, wasn't it?
It was very good. He's got so much. I think he's now thinking about whether he's missed a good opportunity to say people that he'd like to meet. And he's rethinking that now. You put him on the spot. It's quite
Do you like that?
a very unusual question.
I normally ask that in interviews.
I've got quite a lot of unusual questions for you later.
I'm an unusual bloke.
So you're going to tell us the pro update, because you and I have now both met him. Which is,
what a guy. Isn't he? As mad as a brick.
Wasn't really what I was expecting. He looks hardened. He looks like a hardened pro, doesn't he?
Yeah. He looked very, very stiff, should I say, over at Chew. Frozen
He
to
had
bits.
a selection of various generations, Oxford Downs bling on, didn't he?
He had lots of layers at Chew, poor old boy, and I thought he was playing and he wasn't. So fair play, because he stood out there all day in the freezing weather. Really good bloke, very good sense of humour, quite quiet, quite dry, but loves cricket. And I mean, he's almost obsessed with cricket. And we're walking around the boundary and Ling is bowling and he was saying, we should have a fielder here and a fielder there and the batsman's going to be doing this. So he always thinking about the game, which I think is great. But it just seems like a really, really nice guy.
Have anyone actually seen him bowl yet?
No, he bowled in the nets and it looks like he can do a bit. Luke List said he looked really good.
Well, if someone of the talent and ability of Luke List thinks he's a good bowler, then he must be extremely good.
He must be extremely good. But he's played franchise cricket in South Africa. I asked him some of the key wickets or the biggest wickets he's got, and played against Quinton de Kock and all these other guys that people would have heard of. So the boy can play.
Good.
And he's a nice guy. He does like the sherbet. And he's just very laid back.
Just not going to fit in at all here.
No, but he won't. I've told him about that.
That's no good at all. And Eric's looking after him on 24/7 basis.
Yeah.
Well, if he makes it halfway through the season, he'll be doing very well.
Well, I just hope Eric doesn't cook for him, because if he's going to do bean and black bean sauce with rice and forgets the rice, he's going to get half the job done.
And of course, we know that if he doesn't turn up on time for a game, he's probably shut himself in the loo.
Yes. Yeah. But we can get him out of there. I could tell you a little story when Eric, he lived with me for a bit.
Did he shut himself in your loo as well?
No, he didn't. He got trapped in the window, which is a fantastic story.
Is that trying to escape in?
No, trying to come back in the middle of the night. I just heard this awful squawking noise. But that wasn't the story I was going to tell. And I had to go down with a cricket bat, not knowing what was going on, and he was hanging upside down in a window, and he kicked the bin. Yeah, brilliant story. But the best one of the lot, when I was woken up at 4 a.m, with all the smoke alarms going off, and I go downstairs and there's smoke everywhere. I walk into the living room and he's sitting there, butt naked, covered in Parmesan cheese. That was it. That's just like, what's going on? What a guy.
And you still don't know what the full story was?
Well, I had to clean the Parmesan cheese.
We could almost spend a whole show on Eric's stories, couldn't we?
We could. Are they? Okay. Don't mention the chicken.
Is that the recent person that's had a birthday? We probably ought to get him on, haven't we? Birthday boy, Elwood Senior. Anyway, so you're going to tell us exactly how to pronounce David's surname.
I haven't got a clue. His nickname's Woody, and we'll just leave it there.
Okay, fine. Right, so time for Barnes's quiz. Very straightforward this year. This week. Sorry, doesn't time fly? This is a little bit like your question to Jimmy Lords. For a perfect dinner, who would your 3 guests be, dead or alive? And I don't mean the band.
Brian Blessed.
Gordon's alive!
He would be brilliant, wouldn't he? Richie Benno.
And it's gone into the confectionery store and out again.
Who else? Who's going to make me laugh? Tommy Cooper.
Tommy Cooper. Right, well done. Favourite all-time rugby player?
Carlin.
Black Label?
No, William.
Roast beef or roast lamb?
Lamb.
Test cricket or ODI?
Test.
Alan Hansen or Virgil van Dijk?
Alan Hansen.
Good answer. Commando or boxers?
Depends if I'm out with you.
Best sequel movie of all time?
Don't know, don't watch. Toy Story.
2, presumably, or 3 or 4.
Yeah, either of them. Pick as many as you want, chap.
Worst sequel movie of all time?
There you go.
I've gone for Grease 2 there. So I've never
Indiana
seen Grease
Jones.
2.
Indiana
Grease 2.
Jones.
Grease 2, even though Michelle Pfeiffer was in it, it's got to be the worst sequel of all time.
She took 5 wickets. Somebody got 5 wickets in the film. That's brilliant.
Like that. Drake or Dave?
Crispy.
Tank top or gilet?
Probably a gilet, but I'm partial to a tank top at golf.
Good. Brie or Stilton?
Oh, got to go Stilton.
Tess Daly or Claudia Winklepicker?
Neither, but I'm going to go for Claudia because I've heard Tess is a bit precious.
Is she?
Yeah.
Would you rather
Yeah.
run a marathon or swim the channel? Bearing in mind, if you swim the channel, you'll be going the other direction to everybody else.
Well, there'll be plenty of room when I get there, won't there? So
Yeah,
that's
plenty
one
of room
good
to
thing.
get there.
Let's go with that.
And you could nick a boat halfway over.
Yeah, and also, if you get halfway around the marathon and you're knackered, you still got to keep going. They're not going to let me drown, so somebody will pull me out.
So you're going for swim the channel?
I'll get to swim the channel.
Yeah,
I'll do it tomorrow.
It's pretty straightforward, apparently.
Yeah.
Lots
Yeah.
of people do it.
Yeah.
Diane Abbott or Preeti Patel?
Preeti Patel.
Do you know what?
I'd rather go to Ross
I don't
Abbott.
even think that's a contest. to
No,
be
it's
honest with
not.
you.
No.
I think Preeti Patel every day of the week.
Yeah.
How many ways can you be out in cricket? Now, interestingly, there's a lot of controversy surrounding this. So
I always thought it was 10, but I suppose there's 11 now because you can get run out in the.
well,
your bowling
it used to be.
stride.
It used to be 10 with one odd one, which
Yeah.
I'll go on to in a minute. But now it's 9 with one odd one. The odd one being you can now be retired out. Which
Why,
I
for
never-
boring people?
Well, just if you declare that you're not coming back out, then you can. The umpires can say, well, if you don't, you're now out. You're not retired hurt. So
Oh, so
retired out. as
you're
opposed to
out,
retired
out.
hurt. And the interesting thing is that handle-ball is no longer an individual way of being out.
Okay.
It's included in obstructing the field. So proper ways of being dismissed is now 9. I'm not going to ask you to name them because I know you've been out all these ways, so it doesn't matter. Favourite cricket ground?
We did that last week. So I'm going to say Wormsley because it's obviously a nice
we?
place. Yeah, and
Oh.
Holberton down near Plymouth.
Nice. What are you always waiting for but never comes?
Talent.
Tomorrow.
All right.
Gus or Will?
Cockles.
You're not going to ask that every single week. then.
Let's just rewind. Ask me again now.
Gus or Will?
My granddaughter, Frankie.
So,
Boom!
that is so cute.
Yeah.
Barry, John or Phil Bennett?
Neither, both taft, weren't they?
Sorry?
Phil Bennett.
Yes. And what do you call a woman who lies down in the middle of a tennis court?
I don't know. Go on.
Annette. Pretty straightforward, really.
What do you call a lady? What do you call a lady with a left foot on one side of the stream and a right foot on the other side of the stream?
I don't know.
Bridget.
Nice, like that.
Very good.
Okay, so those are Barnes questions.
Thank you for those,
As you
Bear.
can expect, as we go through the weeks, and I have to find more ridiculous questions that I haven't asked, apart from the Will or Gus one, which is going to come up every single week.
Yeah. And favourite
it's going to
cricket
get more and more complex for me to get silly questions, but I will endeavour to do it. Right, so future guests, we still have, I don't know when we're having Charlie Lansbury and her cast of thousands from the
Chaperone.
Big Sheep. Is that next week we're having them? When
I
are we
don't
having
know.
them?
We got-
Producer, when are we having them?
Then one will be a show next weekend. 'Cause next week's
That's my birthday.
It's your birthday.
That's my
Now.
birthday.
We're
I
on the
can't
booze
possibly
cruise,
do a
remember?
show on my birthday, yeah. True.
Yeah.
Just in case you're watching, Mum, my birthday's the 1st of May.
We got married on a Friday.
Yeah, and you get married on a Friday.
Yeah.
Google it. Right, okay. And then we still have our pro. We're going to have him here.
Yes, we are definitely. That'll be interesting.
We're going to have a WAGS day.
Definitely. There's a couple of ladies that would like to get involved.
And I was discussing with Costly Corner yesterday whether they'd like to come, but they have to talk to the boss first.
Who's the boss? Sarah.
Yes, exactly. Sarah wasn't there. So Sarah will make the decision on behalf of the rest of Costley Corner. Then I thought, wouldn't it be great to have a Costley Corner against a Cosford Corner?
Ooh. But
and we could make that some kind of, either arm wrestling or some sort of quiz or something like that.
I'm glad you said arm.
Yeah.
So I think Sarah will try and get the fees up, where Lucy and Hannah Montana would have gone, yeah, we'd do it.
Yeah.
Sarah's not. We're going to have to find some dollar.
People to talk to our people
we'll have to
that.
get some dollar for that.
Producer, you're our people, by the way, so you're dealing with that negotiation. And then we got fan zone. Curtley Slater needs to come on at some point.
Yes, he wasn't keen, but
he's not. He's a very shy, modest guy. He reminds me a lot of Eric. He's a very shy, modest sort of guy, and doesn't sort of bang his own trumpet.
Or anybody else.
Blow his own drum. Any of that sort of stuff. But anyway, so it's we look forward to having all those at some stage in the future. So, any other business? We got any other comments?
No. Does anybody know where I can get hold of the Oxford Downs logo? Because I want to get some budgie smugglers sorted out for the guys.
James Lauder's gone online and said he wants Tiger Woods to be his his all-time.
Thank you for that.
To meet Tiger.
That's a good one. That.
It's good. It's very good.
Interesting. What would you talk to him about? Would you talk to him about golf, or would you? Other stuff.
So we probably ought to finish with any other business being the most important business of the fitness of our captain.
Yeah, well, he's just coming in now, actually. So good old Cockles went to see the knee specialist today, and he's got an operation to tidy up his meniscus and a bit of cartilage damage, I think, on the 6th of May. So all things going well from there. 4 or 6 weeks.
It was very nerve-wracking because it could have been end of season.
Yeah, it could have been, yeah.
So we're all fingers crossed and relieved.
Definitely. Hopefully it should be okay. And I think that brace has been too tight, probably. That's what's caused him to limp.
The interesting thing
he is.
Will he be invited into Costley Corner as a spectator, or will he be acting as a managerial role?
Think he will be doing the little bit of comms here and there, pet talks,
he's
make sure the boys are all
welcome
right.
to guest in the comms.
Yeah.
That's what they do with all the injured pros, isn't it? They get them in. Away,
get them in, but they probably get paid for that.
Yeah, well,
he likes Rocky Road.
Get his people to talk to our person.
Yeah. Our person, Matt. Matt the person.
Yeah.
Very good. So when is the next one? Are we going to do it on the 8th, the day of the coronation, the 8th of May? It's a bank holiday.
There's an under-15s getting in, so we have to do it on the 9th on the Tuesday.
Wow.
Okay, well, we can check that up as long as there's not a very important football game, because by that time Arsenal will be playing for 3rd place.
You'll be lucky.
And rapidly disappearing down towards... The good news is the lowest they can come now is 6th.
That's okay.
If they lose all their games and everyone else wins there. So
you're used to playing on a Thursday night, it'll be fine.
So we're in free fall, and on Wednesday it could be chaos, but let's not talk about that.
I would say if anybody is watching this and they would like to come on from another cricket club, I think it'd be quite good to get the perspective of another cricket club and grow the show, Bear.
We promise we won't take the mickey, we won't make you look silly, and we won't try to convince you to come and join us, because this is the best cricket club in county, world, universe.
It's definitely the best in Stanley.
Generally agreed as the best. Yeah.
There we go. And we've got socks. Jembo, thank you for that.
Thank you for the socks. Looking forward to next time's hats.
Yeah, Tipfer.
And can we, once again, thank you to our brilliant producer with all the wires.
Amazing, isn't he?
He's done very well.
Just rocks it.
And thank you to Badger turning up. So we've now got a full comms team here.
Very good.
Yeah, with his double curtains. Not sure about the curtains.
No, nor am I.
No,
I don't know.
Not sure about Badger's curtains.
It reminds me of like really bad Top of the Pops from sort of 1984. He's had a shocker, isn't he? No. Back away.
The viewer is wondering. No, that's not anywhere near wide enough. Good, thankfully. The viewer is now wondering what your curtains look like. They'll have to go to sleep wondering.
I've got some clippers. We can sort that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Peter Andre.
But until
more like Peter Cook. Dudley Moore.
Until the 8th or the 9th, we haven't decided yet. It's good night from him.
And it's good night from me.
Good night.